Hi, this is Acme with the US stock highlights here on Share Talk for Thursday, the 3rd of December, starting with Carnival Corporation, which is interesting in the sense that obviously that we have the fundamental improvement with the vaccines and people returning to the seas. But in terms of the share price progression that we've had over the last couple of months, it's interesting that we had sort of a bear trap there down toward or below $12. Then we had a gap through the 50-day moving average, which is normally a good signal, but in fact we just hit the 200-day line and then came back to the 50-day line, so that would have flushed out weak hands. Another gap higher through the 200-day line, and a further gap again. So hopefully after all that jiggery pokery, we'll see that the shares head up higher in a relatively more smooth way than they have over the post October period. Stop loss at the moment probably back below yesterday's bear trap low of $19.23. Above that we could hit a line of resistance from back in March up towards the $35 area, hopefully over the next 1 to 2 months, i.e. by the end of January. A stock which is also up at the moment is, and looking rather strong, is Everglory International, where you can see that, well, hopefully you will be able to see that we've had a spike to the upside and a gap to the upside as well, hitting a previously drawn line of resistance from March, so up towards the $8 area, so we've managed to do that. What will be interesting now for the rest of the session on Thursday is to see whether we can get an end of day close above $6.76. If we can get that, then there may be the prospect not only of a retest of today's intraday peak at $8.30, but also fresh leg to the upside up to the November resistance line projection, currently pointing at a $10.80 target. Hopefully that would be seen over the following 6 to 8 weeks if we get that $6.76 plus close. Moving along to stock which is looking rather interesting at the moment, especially in terms of its the sort of fundamentals of the company. But Flex Shopper at the moment, breaking a line of resistance there from February. The line there around $2, let's call it $2.10, and end of day close above that should hopefully open up the shares to a decent move to the upside. Just how far we could get over the next couple of months is suggested by the top of the channel from February as high as $4, hopefully by the end of January. If you are cautious on the shares, maybe you'd wait for an end of day close through that August peak at $2.48 before considering this a proper long scenario. Onto a stock which has been getting lots of coverage here over recent days and weeks, and not difficult to see why from the chart. We had a near vertical move for the shares last month. Came back to test, I suppose, one of the resistance line projections there, in this case from back in the end of February. That's running around the $6.10 level. Managed to find support above that and also above the November gap, which was the top of which was at $6.15. So the current view is that if we can get an end of day close through the latest resistance at $8.16, we could have a fresh leg to the upside and a move to the a line of resistance there from January, currently promising a target as high as $12. So overall above $6.15, looking for $12 plus and a fresh $8.16 trigger on an end of day close for the stock to get up to that higher target. Moving along to a stock which I don't remember covering before, but here it is today, Itrm Therapeutics. Here we've got the situation where the shares have been in base building mode, I suppose, since the rather vicious gap down that we had in June. Just keep sort of narrow new lows since then. The plus point at the moment is we've had a gap through the 50-day moving average, which is a good sign. We had a very good gap through the 50-day line in September, but obviously that came to nothing. We just bounced off the 200-day moving average. The view at this stage is that we're probably looking to see whether we can get a decent end-of-day close above the late November resistance at 85 cents. If we can get that, then we're hopefully looking for the 200-day moving average again at $1.60 over the next 1 to 2 months. I suppose at this stage only back below the 50-day line at 71 cents, really delaying the upside scenario, but what's something one has to watch out for after the failure that we saw in the September-October time frames. On to a stock which I have actually also looked at on various occasions before, Naked Brand Group. Still interesting in the sense that we're in this triangle, a consolidation that we've had of the spike that we had late last month. It should be a positive consolidation, especially given the way that the triangle looks like it's a continuation feature. We've got the 50-day moving average rising as well. So end of day close through 22 cents could be the trigger to a move up to 40 cents. And it's quite useful that current support around 16 cents is relatively tight in terms of being a reliable money management point. On to a stock which is, I think it's got a rather cool name, and hopefully going to deliver a cool price action over the next near term, cool in terms of being a buy at least. Here we've got the shares hitting the previous target there we had at the top of that rising trend channel from the end of May, so that was around the $6.40 level. While we're above that on an end of day close basis, looking for a fresh leg to the upside, hopefully towards that initial January resistance line projection at $8.50 or so over the next couple of weeks, one would say. And the upside really valid while we hold above that old $6 spike from October. Stock which I've seen is getting a lot of and continues to get a lot of coverage, even though we had I think a downgrade for the shares in terms of the price target earlier in the week or just a few days ago. Interesting situation now though for Pltr Tech, that we've got this, the shares bounced off the floor of the rising trend channel. That was from the end of September. The floor of the channel around, let's call it $20.68. At the moment, it's up to $20.70, so above $21.70. Looking for the upside here and the top of price channel target as high as $34. If you're cautious on the shares, maybe you'd wait for a decent end of day close above the $24.50 level, which hopefully is what we're going to get today, which is just break that line of resistance from the end of November. So basically, the overall picture here above $21.70, looking for $34 rather, and looking for a $24.50 trigger on an end of day close basis. Finishing off today with a stock which I don't think I've looked at before, but here it is, China Sxtc Pharmaceuticals. Looks like a decent setup, i.e. Extended base building, then the sort of hugging and recovery of the 50-day moving average, which is now starting to rise around the 28 cents level. The view of the stage is that we can get probably the best trigger here would be either the end of day close above 38 cents, which was the old October peak, or waiting for the 200-day moving average at 42 cents. If you're going for the 38 cents plus target, then hopefully while we remain above the 50-day line at 28 cents, we see further upside. The favored big target here over maybe the next 2 to 3 months is as high as $1.20, which is the top of the broadening triangle from April. Otherwise, a more modest destination would be around 70 cents, which was that late June peak for the shares. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.